sunshiny smile, heard the roar of a plane as it sailed through the sky. To a playmate she cried with a bright twinkling eye, my daddy rides that ship in the sky. Oh, my daddy rides that ship in the sky. My daddy rides that ship in the sky. Mama's not afraid and neither am I, 'cause my daddy rides that ship in the sky. Then a pug-nosed kid, as he kicked up his heel, says, my daddy works in the iron and the steel. Yes, my daddy makes planes so they fly through the sky, and that's what keeps your daddy up there so high. Oh, that's what keeps your daddy up there so high. That's what keeps your daddy up there so high. If you're not afraid, then neither am I, 'cause my daddy keeps your daddy up in the sky.
We're people, we're animals, we're flowers and birds in flight. I said we're people, we're animals, we're flowers and birds in flight all together, and we're all family under one sky, family under one sky. Here, we're all family under one sky. And I'm going to tell you a story about a possum. Now, who can tell me something that a possum does that helps it survive from its predators? It plays dead, that's right. And the reason it does that is that when a predator comes to eat it, if it thinks it's already dead, it thinks, that's not fresh meat, that's not very good, it's been laying around for a while. I was out in the swamp, and I was trapped all the day. I come back into the camp and I say to my wife, what you have fixed to eat? I am very hungry. She say, not much, vieux, not much. I pick up a few shrimp and a crab, and with them I make a gumbo. A gumbo is a soup. Chérie, I say, a gumbo is very little for a man fatigued like me, a man tired like me. Why you not kill a chicken? She say, we only have one chicken left, and she lay an egg every day. It would be a mortal sin to kill a beast like that. Just then, I hear a out in the backyard. I throw open the door, I look out, and there is a rat de bois, and he's got our last hen by the neck. I run out in the yard, I pick up a stick, I give him a grand coup de bâton. I put his feet in the air. I say to my wife, look, the bon Dieu is bon, the good Lord is good. Now we're going to have meat to eat. So I take the hide over to Zebby. He the fur trader in the next camp. He going to take that hide and he going to sell it. He take that hide and he give me a bottle of wine for trade. My wife, she fix up a little bread. She fix up a stew. Everything come good. A little while later, I open the oven door to see how everything is going. Now maybe you not believe this, but I open that oven and there is the rat de bois. He's standing up in the pan. He had eat the potatoes, he had drink the grease, he come running out the door, he run between my wife's legs, knock over the bread, knock over the wine, he go running out through the door. He grab that hand and he go running off. And that's not all. That night, he go back into Zebby's camp, he take the hide off of the stretching board, and he put it back on. Now that's something, huh? And while he was there, he ate up the stew, and he went back to Zebby, who had his hide, and he took that hide off of the stretching board, he put it back on, and he ran off. Now, could a possum really do that? No, it's an exaggeration, but it's based on something true, which is that a possum plays dead. Now, if you ask a farmer, he doesn't much care for foxes because they're stealing his chickens. But if you ask the fox, he'd say, I got a family to feed. So this is told from his point of view. Well, the fox went out on a chilly night. He prayed to the moon to give him light. He had many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh. Many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. Oh. Now, when I sing that little repeat, it's different each time, but it repeats the last part after the O. You're certainly welcome to join in with me. When the wren did come to a cozy den, the ducks and the geese were kept therein. It says, a couple of you gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh. A couple of you gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, he grabbed that gray goose by the neck and threw that duck across his back. He didn't mind, made quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down. Oh, down, oh, down, oh. He didn't mind, let it quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down. Oh, now old Mother Flip-Flop jumped out of bed, and out of that window she popped her head. She cried, John, John! The gray goose is gone, and the fox is on the town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh, John, John! The gray goose is gone, and the fox is on the town. Oh. There's loads of books and loads of tales about Anansi, so be sure and check some of them out at the library. This is one where Anansi is not so much a trickster as he can't control himself. They ever talk about self-control with you here at school? He has a problem with self-control. One I want to tell you is about Anansi and the pot of beans. She said, Anansi, I have to go to the store and get some more spices. You continue doing your work, and when I get back, I'll put in the spices and we'll cook dinner and we'll have a wonderful meal. But Anansi, she said, whatever you do, don't go and touch those beans. They're very hot and you could burn yourself. What did I say, Anansi? He said, I won't touch those. He found himself standing right in front of that pot of beans. Well, she said, don't touch the beans. It won't hurt if I smell them. Took the top off. Oh, Anansi loved beans. He said, it won't hurt if I just take a taste. Grandma doesn't have to know. He took it out of the bowl. He blew on it. It was good. Maybe just one more. Maybe another. I've had 3. A 4th one's not going to make any difference. Well, Anansi got to thinking he'd like some more of that, and he wanted it to cool faster, so he took off his hat and he put the beans in the hat. Well, the birds suddenly flew in the kitchen window where Anansi was, and the neighbors started pounding on the door. They said, Anansi, let us in, let us get those birds, they're eating Grandma's beans. They were pounding and pounding, and Anansi thought, what am I going to do with this hat full of beans? I don't want them to see me with this hat full of beans. Well, I'll bet you can predict what Anansi did, can't you? He took that hat full of beans, which had not had time to cool, and put it on his head and opened the door. There stood Anansi with that hat full of hot beans on his head. And the neighbors came in and they chased the birds out of there and they started to leave. And there was Anansi. He was standing there with sweat dripping down his face, looking like this. They said, Anansi, what happened? Did those birds hurt you? He said, no, I've just been sweating a lot. I've been working all morning. You can go now. I'm okay. But they were concerned. They said, Anansi, you're sure they didn't hurt you? Anansi was starting to cry from the pain. At this point, Anansi couldn't stand still. He started shaking his hat to get the beans to move around and going back on one foot and then the other. They said, Anansi, that's a wonderful dance. What do you call that? He said, it's the hat shaking dance. It's the hat shaking dance. Shake your hat. I want to sing you a little song and tell you a story that comes from there. The song is called Mi Casa e Su Casa. What does that mean? Who can tell me what that means? What does that mean? My house is your house. That's right. It's a way of welcoming somebody. It's like saying, make yourself at home. Feel like you're at home. My house is your house. In this song, the woman who wrote it, Michele Valeri, is kind of telling about her adventures when she traveled throughout Latin America. And she found that every place she went, the people were so nice to her. And most of them were poor people. They might have only one chair in their house, but they would say, sit down in that chair. They might have one Coca-Cola in the refrigerator. They'd give her that. If she stayed the night, they'd give her the one mattress. They were so nice to her, she wanted to write a song about her. But because she was writing for kids, she thought it'd be fun to make it animals instead of people who were inviting her in. The first animal who invites her in is an anaconda. She's floating down the Amazon River. Now, really, you wouldn't want an anaconda to invite you home. Not a real anaconda. But this is a pretend song, okay? And then she's hiking in the Andes Mountains with a Quechua guide. That's a Quechua Indian. They lived there a long time before the Spanish ever came over with a Quechua guide. And there was an Inca ruin. That's the old city of Machu Picchu, okay, on the mountainside. And there was a llama or a llama right there, big fuzzy.
In a boat down the Amazon, looking in the water at the setting sun. Suddenly an anaconda in a tree hung way over upside down in front of me and said, Mi casa es su casa, whenever you are near. Mi casa es su casa, sit down and rest, my dear. Well, I was hiking in the Andes with a Quechua guide. It was an Inca ruin on the mountainside. And standing in the shadow of a temple wall, there was a friendly llama. She was 8 feet tall, and she said, Mi casa es su casa, whenever you are near. Mi casa es su casa, sit down and rest.